Bless you.
Bless you. All right, we're gonna get this meeting started. I'm just gonna go over the agenda real quick for those who may watch in the future, so that they can have a general idea of where to skip ahead to if they need to. We're gonna talk about the social media, the Facebook integration, real quick, and then the database transfer from an old map to the new map. Then we're going to talk about our agenda for the upcoming meeting in Atlanta with all the developers. So we're going to have a weekend of work session to make major updates to the website. And then we're going to talk about video migration from Vimeo to YouTube. Our current video host is Vimeo, and it's been giving us some problems. And finally, we're going to talk about our the Squad Up event that you just brought up. That's coming up in New York. That's offering free usability testing to all the startups, and we're hoping that we can get somebody to go. I do have a link for those who are curious in the showcase tab. So if you want to click that, you can see the link to that. But first, we'll just do a general quick update from each of the team leads. Let's start with Yi.
No updates really. We didn't have a meeting this week, but instead we focused on finding some events. Um, there is an event in Atlanta when you guys come down, but unfortunately it's just the tail end of it, and we won't be able to take full advantage of it. So we're scouting out for new events in different cities that we're at, even in cities outside the ones where we are, so we can see if we can send some people to either learn or pitch, so we can kind of market our site at the same time, learn from others as well.
Jackie.
Um, should I go over basically all things that has been completed so far on the
Yeah,
website?
yeah, do that. Give us a timeline, another timeline update.
Okay.
I know a lot of progress has been made this weekend.
Yeah. So basically, the site has been worked on for like the past literally 3 days or 2 days, and a couple of milestones has been accomplished. At least for the resource pages, we have majority of the resource page done, and also we had slight modification to the database, and also pending changes based off of Will's and the editor's team suggestions regarding grouping instead of single conflicts. Um, what else? We fixed the video hovers or the image hovers where you had an issue when you kind of highlighted over the the conflict blip, it would not show the image, and then on second hover, it would show up the image. Um, and also, we got the background images for the conflict pages as well as the back to map button working, as well as pulling resources into a specific list. The only thing that needs to be done on the conflict page right now is the actual final look of the resource list as well as the related conflicts, which we still have to discuss the algorithm to determine what actually ends up appearing on that sidebar. But for the most part, everything has been pushed onto Heroku right now. So if you would like to see the most recent version of the site, just go into cartogracy.herokuapp.com. That's HEROKUAPP.com.
Can you put that in a showcase?
When I went to showcase
I'll do
it,
it.
it doesn't let you do anything in there.
I'll do it. Should give you an admin rights. But let me just put that in there. There.
Am I supposed to see something?
Okay.
Let me try. Okay. Oh, you put
Got
it
it.
in there? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that basically is the most recent site that I have currently. Uh, then what's left is one visualization summary for the impacts of the conflict, which we need to create images for. That's the only thing really missing for that. We need all the entries for the background images for the conflicts into the database because currently it's only pulling
Okay.
one example image just to give you an idea of what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
We need to complete the RSS feed, which is not a big task for me, but we do need the keywords for each conflict to pull from. Uh, then on the resource template, the only thing that's really missing is the share to Facebook, share to Twitter, and also related resources on the right-hand sidebar. And also subheading text, because Will
Yeah.
indicated that the header needs to take up more space in order to push the image a little bit, or push the content table or content div a little bit lower, so it doesn't cover majority of the background image. Uh, and then from that point on is really the small things like the search bar functionality, and then really deploying to a server and further testing. So in terms of final timeline, uh, we're looking for complete I wouldn't say version of it, but completed version of the site, essentially by our meetup in Atlanta.
Excellent, and we'll just fine tune it there.
Yeah, at that point, we're also gonna do some usability testing, and once we have approval for everything and bugs are at least kept to a minimum, that doesn't deter usability of the site, then we integrate Google Analytics into it, and then test from there, and then finalize, and then when all gets approved, we transfer over our domain.
Okay. Thanks, Jackie. Is that all?
Yeah. For the most part, yes.
So the editor's stuff. We do have a meeting coming up tomorrow at my work. We have a in-person meeting to talk about the competition that we plan to run in the DC high schools. And actually, we'll be talking to one of the teachers in the DC school system and seeking her advice and asking her to connect us to the social studies people and history people. And then, as Jackie said, I'm currently gathering all the content as far as the images for the big headers and um, just in general cleaning up the graph database file in terms of the accuracy of the information. So that brings us to the agenda. Social media integration. I finished the terms of use, Jackie, and I just sent it to you
Mm-hmm.
on Asana. I'm going to share my screen just to go over it with you guys. So a tagline, I just kept it simple. We could change it later. An interactive news map. Short description, Cartogracy uses visual flexibility of maps to contextualize and report on world events. Long description is the same as on AngelList. Cartogracy overcomes the limits of traditional front-page reporting and allows you to comprehensively follow world news through a data-driven, map-based platform. Each event is further supported by curated summaries of the status quo, along with crowdsourced links to external documentaries, infographics, and other resources for readers to learn more about each story.
Mm-hmm.
So I put everything in. The terms service URL, once Jackie puts it on the website, I can put that link in as well. And then I believe it still needs a app icon, which I feel like it would be pretty easy to do, Jackie, right? Just with our logo, right? With
Yes, yes. It's not easy. It's just tedious.
yeah.
Wait, what does that entail? Is this
So,
just loading a logo?
yeah.
Whoa, Inception.
But wait, hold on. What was?
The app icon, so basically the apps on Facebook all have like a little icon.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Okay. So why is it tedious? I don't get it.
When you convert a flat image into ICO, it's a little bit annoying to do because you need transparency and you got to make sure that the logo actually looks good at a very small resolution.
Mm.
And since our logo is primarily blocks, kind of like texturized blocks, it might just
Yeah.
look like square pixels when you condense it that small, and might not look right. So there's a
Huh.
lot of tinkering when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Got it.
Okay. So is everyone pretty good with the social media integration? And just to give a review, this is needed so that we can allow users to either sign in using their Facebook or post to their Facebook through Cartogracy. So share Facebook link shares on our website require approval.
Well, you could technically share without a Facebook app, but the thing is that none of it gets tracked. So you're basically doing blind sharing,
Got it.
which we don't want, obviously, because we want to utilize Facebook Insights, which is their version of analytics, to
Mm-hmm.
track down basically what has been shared via Facebook.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So we can submit this by this weekend, yeah?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay.
Let me look over the stuff, and then or look over the Facebook thing, and then I'll write down and log all the tasks that I have to do on Asana, to make sure that our submission is 100% complete.
Okay. The next item is classification. So the graph database data. And so I already ran this through Jackie, but I was talking with one of our editors, and a suggestion came up on how to not classify events, but how to, I don't know the word. Well, right now we do events by country, right? So if there's, for example, Syrian Civil War is, I think, the best example. We just put one event, the Syrian Civil War,
Mm-hmm.
because we're doing it by country. The classification is by country. Really, it's an evaluation of the state of the country more than anything. However, there's the other option is to do it by group. So now, if we do it by group, instead of the Syrian civil war and the Iraqi insurgency, there would be no Syrian civil war. There would be one blip for each of the group that's causing havoc in Syria. So there would be uh, the Islamic State, Islamic insurgency, right, which would
Mm-hmm.
also merge part of the Iraqi insurgency into it because they're fighting in Iraq too. There would be the
Mm-hmm.
Free Syrian Army, like Popular Uprising, and there would be the Kurdish independence movement in the north. So it would become three different blips instead of this one Syrian conflict. And the reason, practically, from an editor's point of view, why we would want to do is because most of these conflicts are now transnational. They don't care about borders. They're causing havoc in a lot of different areas.
Mm-hmm.
ISIS being a very good example, and the Kurdish thing being a very good example too, because the Kurdish independence movements in Iraq, Syria, Iran, and Turkey. So instead of putting four blips, we can put one just for the Kurdish people, right? So in some places it would separate out one blip into many, and in some places it would merge many blips into one. And this
Wait, what's the example of merging multiple into one? I didn't hear that very well.
Because if you do it by country, the Kurdish independence movement is in Turkey, Iraq, Iran, and Syria.
Ah, okay.
And if they're all causing enough of a commotion, you would have four different blips because we're doing it by country, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then if we're doing it by group, it would just be in one.
But if you did what you just said there, we would lose visibility into the locations in which the Kurdish independence movement is happening.
No, no, you wouldn't. You would still put the blip in the general area that they're in.
Okay, but then that's like saying we have a blip in the general area where all three insurgencies are occurring in Syria. You
Say
know
that
what I'm
again.
saying?
Say that again.
If you what you're saying is we still have the blip in the general area, then we have a blip right now in the general area where, or we have one blip representing several insurgencies in Syria right now.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm not certain on what it brings value to the editors because they can target a story and they can focus on it instead of getting into like a country, for example, and then going into a story, getting into a conflict and going into multiple stories. But I'm just not sure for understanding if it's going to be as clear.
The reason actually is it's because it's more clear in understanding. It provides more information in the most top layer of information, which is the map. And it actually solves some of the conflicts that we currently have, like the Maghreb Islamic insurgencies, the Al Qaeda in Maghreb. That's inherently in different countries, but how do we know where to put the blip, right? If we put it just in, I think right now it's in, let me see. Right now it's in Algeria, right? Or actually it's in Morocco. But that's very vague of where we put the blip. It's in multiple countries, and it doesn't really tell the story. It makes it look like on the top layer of the map that it's only in Algeria or Morocco.
Yeah.
So now we look at the same case in Syria, where before you just understood there was a civil war, and now you see multiple blips in and near Syria, and you understand that there's multiple groups vying for power. And in the future, we can also implement some sort of overlay that shows exactly, like if, for example, if you mouse over one of the blips, it'll show you the general area that's being affected over the nation's border, so you can see exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
But the
I agree with that. I guess I just
last
don't
advantage,
see.
let me finish. The last advantage that I
Mhm.
think is very useful is that because we're using a relationship matrix, now we not only have relationships between conflicts and resources, but also between conflicts, um, actual relationships, right? Because the ISIS conflict is absolutely related to the Free Syrian Army and the Kurdish conflicts, right?
Mhm.
And also the Iraq, the Iraqi army. I mean, everyone's forgetting that there's other rebels in Iraq as well, not just ISIS. So that allows us to create many more relationships between the nodes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. I just don't see any case where we would shrink the number of blips versus increase.
Well, I just said the Kurdish is one good example.
Right, but if we wanted to show the different locations that it was happening in, wouldn't we want to highlight all of them?
No, that doesn't. Why would we
So,
have all of them?
so
We do
where's
that right
the
now for the country. Right now, we don't do that for like we don't have multiple blips for the Maghreb insurgency, even though it's in multiple countries.
right? And we would be putting multiple blips in now.
No, we wouldn't. We just have one blip move per group in a
Okay,
general area.
we could talk about this offline. I generally agree with it. I just, I'm not sure which conflicts would be affected where it would actually shrink. I'm not sure exactly what that criteria is. So we can talk about it later, but I think it's a
No,
great
it's a good conversation to have. The only conflicts that I see being affected right now are the Syrian conflict and the Iraqi conflict,
idea.
uh, and it's all in the Middle East, right? So the
Yeah.
Pakistan and Afghan conflict would merge into one because they're all caused by Taliban. The Taliban is pretty much a single force that's fucking things up in both Afghanistan and Pakistan. That would merge into one. Right now we have two, right? One for Taliban in Afghanistan, one for Taliban in Pakistan, but really they're one group that's fighting across both borders, right?
Okay,
That
so this is where I had that question. Like, if I was going in, I wanted to see what's going on, and I'm using this map, which is bordered by countries, and I was looking at Iraq, and if it so happens that, or I mean Pakistan, let's say, and the blip was instead in Afghanistan, then I wouldn't see anything there for Pakistan.
it would be near the border region.
Okay. Well, as long as that's. I mean, I don't know if that's really
When you
obvious.
click on the blip and when we go to the information screen, it would say both Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Okay.
And again, I think that problem you said is valid, and I think that can be solved by map overlays. And the reason that I'm going with this is because right now we have the same problem with the country-based distinction. For example, Maghreb, right? So even in the country-based distinction, we still have the same problem. So we don't gain or lose by moving to a group-based distinction.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's all in the Middle East. It's the Taliban, it's Al Qaeda, it's ISIS, and this whole Syria mess. It's the Kurdish people. Really, I don't see any. Oh, there's some in Africa too. It's mostly the Islamic organizations that are transnational. So Al Shabaab is in Somalia, but obviously, they attacked them all in Kenya, so it's in parts of Kenya as well. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Jackie, how difficult would it be if I mouse over one of the conflicts to do like to do a pop-up around the conflict of the areas affected?
That's not a question that I could accurately answer.
Without doing research?
Difficulty is hard to say. I mean, there is a couple of ways that runs through my head of doing it, but it's not a simple thing. It will take some time to do because anytime you're dealing with layers, especially dynamic layers, in the sense that every conflict has its own area affected, that's a lot of data. And it's either you're drawing the data or it's like an overlay of image or something like that. So either way would probably take a decent amount of time. I wouldn't say it's
Okay.
very difficult, but it's on kind of the medium-low scale of difficulty.
Okay, cool. All right, we can talk about that during the Atlanta meeting. Let me make a note of that right now in Asana. At least do a simple mock-up during the Atlanta meeting and discuss it. Is that okay with everyone?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Oh, okay, there it is. Discuss mouse over. So, Jackie, to give you an idea of what that looks like on the database, because you asked before, because you needed to visualize it. Um, it would go from, so the copy is, the one with the groups. So, oh, by the way, why did you take out the country, the country like column?
I took out the country column where
Because I mean, I made it again, but like it wasn't here, and then some of them don't have like it's just a jihadist insurgency, so I don't know what country it's in.
yeah, because you copied the wrong sheet. You copied the conflict node sheet instead of the conflict meta. The conflict meta is the one that has that all that information.
Oh, well, now I feel dumb. Okay. Um, well, I mean, this is what it would look like, right? Instead of which was one just like popular uprising, now you would have three different ones.
So we just have more nodes now, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is that where would the coordinates lie on those?
Oh yeah, it would be different. I would click on them.
Oh, okay. So basically uh, what you call it? Our map would be populated more now since there's gonna be.
Like I was saying to G, it most likely populated more, but some conflicts end up merging because they're being caused by the same group in multiple countries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this allows us to start creating some more. So we're able to actually draw some more relationships now
Yeah.
because there are clearly related conflicts by belligerent in this case.
Yeah. Or by country, right? So if we make country one of the attributes, they'll be able to make a clear relationship.
Okay.
So Jackie, the other thing I wanted to talk about was, can I change the slugs here now? Would that be a big deal? It just bothers me that they're so long.
No, it's not a big deal. Could you make a new sheet for that though?
Yeah.
Simply because when I actually you don't have to make a new sheet. Just make sure the ID column is there uh, and the slug is yeah the slug column is there too. As long as those two columns are there, then um, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make because yeah, some of these are. Um, and yeah, I think the other thing we can talk about this weekend is you brought this up before, whether we want to continue doing weather and other,
Yeah.
like deforestation and stuff.
Natural disaster and like disease, right? Those two.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we gonna have the right people there? Should we bring in the editors for that? Or
Um,
do we just make a case and then present it to the editors?
Monday we can make sure there is a time this weekend that all the editors will be on as well, so that we can bring in any issues to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ronald and Sarah.
I'm gonna put it into the to-do boxes.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, we have one viewer. I wonder who it is.
Hey, Ron.
Is it Ron?
Ron, ask a question.
I don't know how to see who it is. Well, okay, anyways, we'll just keep going down the agenda. So, yeah, so the next thing is actually the agenda for the Atlanta meeting. So you have you given it some thought? I know we just put some stuff in it.
Not yet. I was hoping we could cover some things in this meeting, and then I'll populate it as we go along this week.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then now let's talk about the video migration. So you want to migrate over to YouTube, Jackie?
Yes. It's just a thought because I'm trying to think why did we switch from Vimeo to from YouTube to Vimeo? Was it because of security issues or not security copyright issues, or
Yeah, I
was
think
it
it's
because
copyright.
was
Well,
it was also
Vimeo
slow loading too,
take
right?
down requests. No?
What?
Vimeo also issues takedown requests. No?
Did Vimeo issue takedown requests?
I thought so.
Okay, I just solved the problem.
What problem?
So before, I'll just share my screen. It's a lot easier. But let me say, because since we're using kind of like a purely JavaScript framework, it doesn't treat page transitions as a normal browser would, where it would kind of where it would essentially, how do I put it? Scroll to the top or load from top bottom, right? So when you transition between a resource or a conflict to a resource, it ends up being in the same position on the page as you were on the conflict. And since the conflict was on kind of see if I go back here, if this window was like a little bit smaller, and then I scroll down and you click this, it would have like started the website load at here. But but since fucking sync, go away. Um, so it will start here, so you won't even see this top portion. So now it works fine. Oh, and if you guys didn't know, this entire left column is clickable. That goes back to the original page conflict, and the back to map goes to the back to map, obviously. But when you guys test on Heroku, it should technically wrong site. It should technically run just as quick. Like, it should be really quick for you guys. Like, literally, well, when you go back to the map, it's a little slower, but, I mean, it should be really quick for you guys. If you guys are having any loading issues or slow loading issues, please let me know. Or even freezes, because these are things that I have to take care of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back onto the video migration issue. Do we want to? I mean, because you can't fix the Vimeo issue right now, the hover.
The Vimeo issue isn't that bad, to be honest. It's just like has this buffering thing. It has that buffering thing in the middle, in the beginning, and I kind of think it looks ugly. But I mean, otherwise, it doesn't really matter too much. I just thought aesthetically, the Vimeo doesn't look as good. But
Okay.
I mean, obviously, this could be a topic revisited later on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll check.
I think for what else we got on our plates right now, we could probably just leave this one for later.
Yeah.
It works, right? The hovers and the videos, they all work. It's just a matter of looks or perfecting the looks, right?
Yes, sir. That is pretty much the major concern, or cause for concern.
Squad up usability testing. You want to tell Jackie?
Yeah, I was looking at startup events and I was browsing ones
Yeah,
in New York.
I saw that thing.
You think that would be valuable to go to tomorrow? They said you can bring in like even printouts of your site, so you don't actually have it running. Probably just show them a shot of what we expect it to look like. And it's pretty close to your work, but I don't know if those hours are good for you or not. It's tomorrow too.
It's not that close. It's okay. It's not bad. When is it?
5-minute walk probably.
Yo, man, that's a lot of walking.
Yo, you go further for like a cheesesteak. Don't lie.
Well, there's bigger payout for a cheesesteak place than this.
I don't understand, Jack. You spend like 30 hours this weekend working on the website, but 5-minute walk? No. Fuck that.
Anything that's physical, that's outside of the gym, I prefer not to do.
Okay.
It's just not in my life motto, okay? But if it's it's tomorrow. I can't make it tomorrow because I'm going to a meetup for Redis for API stuff, like this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because this one is tomorrow at 5:30. When is this? It's 4 to 6. Yeah, I wouldn't even be able to make this anyway because I had to leave Black Lapel at 5, and this is probably gonna be over by then.
It's fine.
Is there another one though, or is that the only one? Actually, well, I could ask someone else to do it. Is anyone else in the area?
Wait, what?
No. Do we have anybody on the team that's in the city?
Oh.
No, right?
Any warm bodies? Anyone?
Could we just do like a task rabbit?
No. Can't do a task rabbit.
Personal assistance. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I can make this.
It's fine. It was one of those spur of the moment things. Oh, they said they're limiting the workshop to 4 companies, and then there's already like 9 people on the attendees list, more than 4 companies, so might not even work out.
Okay, that's everything on my list. Um, yeah.
Me, or is
So,
this wallpaper
so
not working?
Will, I wanted to talk about resources. What's our plan for populating resources on the site?
Well, now that I'm changing the number of conflicts, you need to wait till I finish doing that.
Well, I mean, the resources are still going to apply, right? There's going to be conflicts, and we're going to be able to find information on anything online. So I'm just
Yes, sir.
I'm concerned because we have like about upwards of 100, 200 resources that we could probably populate on this site, but it's a matter of going out and getting them, watching them, vetting them out, making sure it's appropriate, and then saving them, categorizing them. Uh, if we launch without resources, I think we miss a big how do you say that? A big thing that we were planning on having.
Advantage?
Yeah,
Benefit?
benefit.
One of the things that we could do this weekend is have during the meetings with the editors, get them to do a work session.
Okay.
Wait, is it the problem because we don't have enough resources for anything?
We don't have enough good ones.
Well, we have like 20, we have like 30 resources, and we have like 90 conflicts. So if we, or I don't know how many conflicts, 60, 70 conflicts. Let's say we want at least 3 resources for each conflict. That's 200 resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're not just any. These are not just news stories where you kind of plan for it and put it in. Some of these are like 20-minute videos, and if you're gonna watch a 20-minute video, how many are you gonna be able to watch a day? All right.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
We'll do. Well, we have plenty of time this weekend, so I'll be personally doing a lot of that.
Do we
okay.
have a agenda set for the weekend? I know we just discussed this, but do we have it like written down somewhere?
Yeah, it's in Asana, but I'll populate some stuff as well. If you guys have anything, toss it in. My concern is I don't want to spend the whole weekend, basically us all, looking up things. If we can get as much of it done beforehand, and I'll be glad to look up resources throughout the week, but I think we should all contribute. That way beforehand, we'll have everything done, and we can actually talk during the weekend, which is the greatest advantage we have. Discuss and make decisions as opposed to just doing stuff we could have done, at our
Yeah,
own time.
I'll do the best I can.
Okay. Can you ask the editors to pull some?
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean, we
talking
have
to
a.
them tomorrow, so I will ask them.
Oh,
Okay.
how did the meeting go? Didn't you have it face to face?
Actually, one of them had a friend, a close friend, pass away, so we had to defer it till this Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, but our trip's like 5 days away. I can't believe it. Like,
Yeah, you finally get to get your stupid spam,
fuck
which
you.
you could probably make at home by
No,
yourself.
no. Won't hype
No.
it up too much, but I don't think you can make this at home. You need the secret sauce.
Oh, they have secret sauces? I thought spam azubi is just like straight up spam and rice.
Now this one's a little bit different. And Ellen went to Hawaii and she said she tried the spam musubi there and it wasn't as good. It was too
Well,
original.
then again, Alan liked Geno's or brought you to Geno's, so technically she has no say.
All rights for making decisions on food have been taken away as a result of Geno's.
Yes, that is just an insult to cheesesteaks, okay?
Hey, all right. Actually, in her defense, she presented chinos and what's the other one right next to it?
Cats. They're both bad.
Yeah.
Why do you think they're right next to each other?
I chose chinos though, because I thought I
Cats and
remembered
Genos are
chinos on Food
horrible.
Network too.
They're both tourist traps. Even
Yeah.
though Pat's is original, um, cheesesteak, still it's for a cheesesteak, like a Philadelphia cheesesteak is horrible.
I need to try one of these good places because I didn't think Geno's was that bad, honestly.
That's because you have nothing to compare it with.
That's true.
It's your first Philadelphia cheesesteak, right?
Wait, have you had Geno's before?
Yes, and it was compared to the other one, it's soggy. It's like the meat is a little bit bland,
Yeah, yeah.
and like it's like if you know those steak ums, those frozen box steak ums
I
that you
never had
buy
those,
from
but I know what you're
Walmart.
talking about.
Yeah, like it tasted like that. It tasted like it's something I can make at home, but at least I can make it better. And the actual legit places, the meat it's so much more richer. They have more fatty meats that they put in there, and it's just so much juicier and tastier. So,
Hmm.
Are we done with the major agenda topics here?
did we finish talking about cheesesteaks?
I don't know. Did we?
um, I don't have anything. Did I put everything? In terms of the content, did you get all the stuff? This was due yesterday, bro. You didn't finish it.
Dude, getting 90 images that are not copyrighted and that can invoke emotions, but is not too violent so that it's gruesome is impossibly hard. Give me some more time.
All right, you got till tomorrow.
Well, let me help with that. Do you have a list somewhere that you're working off of?
Do Asia.
All right, does that include Russia?
No.
We have no conflicts in Russia.
Yes, we do.
Wait, Will, why did you change your face back to your face?
So I actually merged this with my Red Cross Asana. We use Asana at Red Cross too, and
Oh,
it automatically overwrote the image, and I can't change it to like a freaking cat for my Red Cross account, obviously.
Why did you
why
merge
not?
it?
My Black Lapel account is a cat. See, it's a cat. It's a cat.
I just thought it'd be easier because I was doing some work, stuff at work as well, so I wanted to be able to switch back and forth easily.
Okay. And Will,
So
these are cover photos, right?
yeah, so they need to be at least like 800 pixels around. So what I've been doing is using let me show you. Two very good sources
R.
is you go to Google Images, you can search by you go to search tools and you can
Hmm.
search by usage rights. So we want to do labeled for reuse.
Oh.
Yeah. And another good one is Flickr. And Flickr, I know I'm spelling it wrong, but it goes to the same site. You can do the same thing. So elephants. You do advanced. Oh, just you don't even have to do advanced search. Just here, any license, just go to Creative Commons only.
But
Okay,
weren't you
so
saying something about that? You're not even sure if we fall underneath that license.
We fall under creative. So there's two different types.
Oh, you're talking about fair use, right?
Yeah, fair use is different. Fair use applies to everything, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about Creative Commons only. So
and then what's the size we're looking for? 800 and up?
yeah.
8 by 8?
No, 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 no. So the biggest dimension has to be 800 or more. The bigger of the two dimensions has to be at least 800.
But horizontal is more important in this case, right?
Horizontal is the longer dimension.
Right.
It has to be at least 800.
Oh, I didn't even know you sent this jQuery plugin. I already made my own though.
Okay, what was your last other qualifications, Will? Non-biased?
Just
What about?
not too overly gruesome, you know. I mean, I think a little blood is okay, but just not like. Because remember, we have a high school competition. You just don't want them to see like
Yeah.
entrails leaking out, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
it.
they're gonna find it eventually if they look hard enough.
And one of the things I was also that also was hesitant about is I don't think we should have any picture that vilify like unnecessarily. You know, like showing ISIS, for example, in the black gear where they're like
Yeah, like
unnecessarily
with them
side.
staying with a beheading,
Right,
like
right,
a beheading.
right. We want to show human emotion and triumph.
Hmm.
That's usually a good. To be able to evoke positive emotions, usually also a good thing. So, like a defiant protester invokes the sense of, pride and defiance, which is good. Sadness is also good, but like usually we just don't want to paint any one side as extremely, extremely like negative, like a black and white thing, because we don't want to take sides. Right.
Yeah.
Does this fall under content team? I think it does. For content for our about page and contact us, the static pages,
Okay.
we need content for that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we need to create the team page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that's not it. That's in web development, dude. You
No,
assign a
content.
task to me within web development for getting that, but it's in web development.
But it has a keyword content in it.
Content is conflict content, not us content.
Well, that doesn't
Everything is
specify.
technically
Maybe you
content.
should put a description.
But
Content
I am
only
going to
for
delete those tasks if you
conflict
don't need it.
content and not pages. Okay, there you go. I made it. I made it a little bit more clear. Now, let me drag this over. This is in. Is
Hey,
it in
Will, are
template?
you saving those images? Are you putting them in the data
Just save it on
spreadsheet?
your computer and then send it to me afterward after you're done. That's all.
How about
Because we
I
have to send
send
it together
you?
in a zip to Jackie.
Okay, I'm just gonna put the links on the data spreadsheet.
Sure. All right.
When could you have this by, Will? This content?
I am not going to be able to do it this week because I'm prioritizing the other two things. I have a
Are we
really,
gonna be
really.
able to work on it during the Atlanta stuff or during the Atlanta meeting?
Oh yeah, that can do that. I just have a really crazy week coming up with work.
All right, so I'll put it on by Sunday.
Okay.
Let me research. So yeah, so I don't have much else. Should I do? Should we keep our RSS feed simple and only instead of doing needing to do keywords because obviously keywords is going to be unnecessary. Well, not unnecessary, but going to be additional work for you guys to
Mhm.
migrate over. Should we just do a simply just the name of it?
No, no, no. I think the RSS is important to tailor because it pulls in so much junk that it's in the long term. If you don't put the right keywords, it's going to be much more work to delete articles than just to put the right keywords in the first place.
Okay. Well, just an idea.
Yeah, I appreciate it though.
Then what I could do is just to get the ball rolling because in terms of development, the task is kind of really based on you guys right now to complete uh, and finalize. So I could just pull from a single source for the RSS feed, like the name of the conflict, for instance.
Yeah,
Um, and then once you guys get the keywords in, then we'll we'll do a little bit more in
sounds
depth.
good. Sounds good.
Uh,
Hey,
You muted yourself.
oh, shit.
hey.
That's that's like that time you were demonstrating that thing for me, and then you got kicked off for like an hour and continued talking for an hour. You just
Two
muted
minutes,
yourself
but
again.
all right. Jackie, can I add a column into the meta conflict meta node to put in image URLs for cover images?
Just
Where is it?
just new tabby.
No, I've been.
Stop muting yourself. What button are you pressing? Did your thumb suddenly grow like?
I'm not. I was pressing the arrow keys. I don't know why, but I was given a strict order to not create new tabs. So
Oh, now you don't want to create any goddamn new tabs. Just create a new damn tab.
Well, the funny
no,
thing is that I was the one that's creating all the new tabs. I was the one that created the resource.
Yeah, but you was the one who created the sheet in the first place.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I just want to make sure whatever image I post, you don't have to go line up the image to the conflict later. As long as you attach it with the conflict from the very start. No
Um,
moving around and matching.
quick question. This attribute sheet, what the fuck is this?
The attributes are the attributes of the conflict nodes.
Oh, so do you still need it?
Yes.
Okay. Yi, where did you want to add the images to?
Doesn't
Well,
matter.
you want
Just
to
a
post links, but you wanted actual files, right?
Yeah, I wanted actual files for it. Because the thing
okay,
is that it's
okay.
unnecessary to store it in a database if we are going to name it the same name as a slug. FYI, name all your files the same name as a slug. So that means that if Will changes the slug to whatever he wants it to, then um, you better make sure that the image is the same name.
Will, when are you changing the slugs?
It'll be done by tomorrow.
All right. All right.
So if you just want to do like, it takes a really long time to find good photos. So if you just want to do like 4 or 5 photos, I don't think, I mean, I don't think it'll take a long time for you to match those up.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll put up like maybe like for some of them, if I find multiple good ones, I'll put up a couple, and then you
Yeah.
can choose.
Yeah, okay.
And then I'll just put generic, because I don't know what the slugs are going to be. I'll just put generic names, like, or whatever the names currently are.
Yeah. Also, since we're doing shareware, we're doing the Creative Commons licensing.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you find a photo, make sure you note the source down because we have to say, courtesy of.
Okay. How about, I know these are the cover photos. How about do we still have mini photos inside each and the
No,
pop-up
we don't.
photos?
We don't have that now.
So what about the pop-up photos?
Pop-up photos. Let's worry about that later. Let's like do one thing at a time because we have a shit ton of stuff to do. I think when we're doing the cleanup of the site and fine-tuning, we can worry about those little things.
Okay.
All right. Any more things?
Is there anything you guys want to add right now before we end to the
Broadcast.
agenda?
Nope.
Excuse me.
All right. I'm gonna end the broadcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tune in same time next week, 8
For
p.m.
more
Eastern.
hilarious antics from Will and Yi.
This is Cartogracy TV.
Tuning out.